got some random nonsense on sale, stranger.
Hello, I'm the Random Nonsense Merchant, and this is my 100 subscriber special. This isn't really a structured video, I'm just going to talk about whatever I think is relevant. The main purpose of this video is to talk about the future of the channel and what kind of videos I want to put in later on and what kind of things I should be doing right now, because I think I can make a lot of things that would be more relevant to what people actually want. I mean, the only thing that gets views at the moment are my beginner's guides, and I think I want to do more of those. But the problem is they do take a lot of scripting and they take a lot of editing as well. Although I'm trying to edit it so that only when relevant footage is necessary will I actually edit to something like that, and I'll just play long unedited gameplay clips otherwise, because it's not actually that important that every second of a video is exactly what you're saying at the time. So I think that if I'm smarter about how I edit the videos, I can get more of them finished. So I'd like to do more videos like that. I mean, the video I did about Wasted didn't get many views, but I guess it's because it's more of an obscure game. But I thought that game needs a guide to it because it's very tricky to figure out what you're supposed to do right at the start. So I made it so that I would focus on that because I did figure out that game. So I thought I should make a video to sum up what I had learned on my time playing the game as well. I'm not sure if I want to do Let's Play style content because when I'm talking in real time, I tend to forget what I'm about to say, or I tend to not be able to plan what I'm about to say very well, so I don't sound that coherent. Usually I can talk more naturally if I'm talking about something more specific, like at the moment I'm just talking about my channel, so that's a fairly narrow range of subjects. And you'll notice in the video that I am in fact playing Starcraft, but I only really play the co-op mode because I'm pretty shit at PvP, so I won't be posting any competitive Starcraft on this channel if that's what you were hoping for, but then I'm guessing you probably wouldn't expect that because you probably didn't know that I play Starcraft until this day. So while I think beginner's guides are the videos that are going to get me the most views, I do think I need to add in something else because I can't just make beginner's guides like this because it is too much scripting and practice of the game to actually make sure what I'm saying is correct. And yeah, a few of the things I've said in my older videos might be slightly wrong or need clarification or whatever. I've noticed in the comments of some of my videos there's people pointing out that I'm wrong about certain things, which is fine if I mess things up. But one of the main things people point out in my XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within review was that apparently in the late game mechs are very good. The reason I got that wrong was because I only did one playthrough on normal before I made that conclusion, and it was only one time getting mind controlled with a mech unit that was what convinced me that mechs weren't that good in the late game. So I kind of jumped to that conclusion very quickly. I suppose if you had all mechs, you might be able to just get them to swarm the Ethereal or the Sectoid Commander so that they can save the mech that did get mind controlled. Like I said, that video is quite old, and I only played it for a short time. Well, I played one complete playthrough before I made that video, which should be enough to at least review what's in the game, but it's not a high-level guide. I mean, that review is a review. It never claims to be a guide, but yeah, I should try and get things right in my videos because, especially in a review, you want to give accurate information because, you know, if someone is trying to decide whether to buy a game, they want to base it on something that's true. I usually get at least a few things wrong in a review of a game where I've only finished it once, and sometimes I don't always finish games if I'm pushed for time when I'm making a video about it, but I don't think that I am going to review that many games that finishing the games will even be an issue. Another thing I'd like to make is more long form content because on YouTube these days they pay you more if you make videos that are more than 10 minutes long rather than less than 10 minutes. While of course, at this stage, I'm not really bothered about the money because I've only got 100 subscribers and a couple of videos which, if I monetize them, they would make a bit of money, but at the moment, it's not worth it. So, for now, you won't see any ads on this channel, but if it starts to get 10,000 views per video, like every video, then I will consider it, because then I can monetize it and then I can spend more time making these videos. And then if you like these videos, you'll probably prefer more videos but with ads than hardly any videos with no ads. Yeah, okay, a lot of people do skip ads, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you like my videos enough to play the ads, then I would be grateful, but I'm not going to demand it. This is obviously in the future if I consistently get at least 10 or 20,000 views per video. There's no point in monetizing before I start seeing that. Now, obviously, I am missing out on the potential ad views of the first 10,000 views, but that is only potential, and there are only like 2 videos that could even get that much. So I'm not bothered about that, really. It's only pennies in the end of the day. With long form content in mind, I think I should make videos where I can review multiple games of the same genre by mashing together a few shorter videos into one long one, which means that I can compare and contrast different games, so that maybe if the first one I'm talking about isn't what you'd prefer, maybe the third or fourth game might be. So I can spread out my knowledge over a set of games rather than just one. Now obviously, if it's heavily scripted and heavily edited, it's going to reduce the amount of them that I can make. But hopefully I could try to get it up to not necessarily one video per week, and definitely not one video per day, because that does require you to make your unedited or unscripted long form content every day, because there's no way you're going to make an edited and scripted video once a day, because you'd have to write whole loads of scripts and then read them all out at once and then release them in kind of a batch format, which requires a lot of pre-preparation, which I don't exactly have the time for. While this is unscripted, it's also heavily edited, because I'm going to be pausing and thinking about what to say and changing my mind about things quite often, so you're not going to hear any of that, but it is happening in the background, so it's going to affect the speed at which I can put these out. But I think the fastest YouTubers do multiple takes anyway, so it's not like I'm severely detrimented compared to them. It's just that I'm not quite as fast as doing a take. I can't just do one full take all in one go, I don't think. That's why I'm kind of editing what I'm saying and stuff like that. Because I noticed my best vlog type video was my Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright review. In terms of how I was talking, I think it was the best, because it was drawing up some natural flow when I was talking about all the different games in both series, and so I was calling on my memory rather than trying to like make up stuff as I went along. So it sounded a lot more natural in that video. And I'd like to be able to talk like that all the time, but the way I talk isn't as fast and flowing, because I often get stuck trying to think of what to say at certain points. I'm trying to improve how I talk, which is kind of an abstract thing to do. I am conscious about the fact that some of my older videos, I do sound very unnatural in them when I talk, so I think that is turning people away. The way that you talk does affect viewership and viewer retention, so if I can improve that, I can talk faster. Also, it has to be talking faster without a script, because if it's only with a script, that does limit how many videos I can make. And I want to either make more videos or make enough videos of a high quality that it doesn't matter that there aren't more of them. But I think that I do have a long way to go before I can reach that type of level, as it were, because I don't think I get enough practice talking just like this. And so I'm not going to make too many videos until I know that they're going to be good. Quite an obvious thing to do, to focus on the quality. but I think that this channel has surpassed my expectations in terms of like how many views I'm getting and how much subscribers I'm getting. I mean, I was going to do this video when I had exactly 100 subscribers, but by the time I decided to do that, I already had 101, and now by the time I've actually started doing it, I think it said I had 103 at the time I was making this video. I think it is going better than I was expecting, but what I need to do now is kind of grow it. I need to go from 100 to 1,000 and then 10,000 onwards and onwards, but really I also have to be not completely going all in on it, because if I do, then there's a risk that if the channel isn't going as far as it needs to, that I'm causing detrimental problems to my real life by wasting all of it on a channel that's currently not making money. And yeah, obviously if it gets big enough, then it doesn't matter whether I'm doing anything else as well. I mean, yeah, ideally I'd be doing other things as well, but it's all about the context of when do you go all in on it? And I don't think now is the time. I think it's far too early, obviously, but what I could do is try to scale up the amount of stuff I'm making, but also try to increase the quality, because I could hammer out bad videos 5 times a day probably if I didn't care about how natural I sound or how quickly I'm talking, because I think it is boring to listen to someone talk too slowly. So I am trying to talk faster, but that does mean I have to think of what to say, and the only reason I can't do that is because I don't plan out what I'm going to say well in advance, so it's hard for me to actually anticipate what I'm going to talk about in the next few sentences, and therefore plan out what sounds coherent and structured while not actually being scripted. Another good reason that I made this video is because there are a lot of gaps in when I upload, because I'm not a regular uploader and there's always times when I've just not made anything for months. I want to kind of put a stop to that, but I can't go in and make videos 3 times a week or anything like that. I might be able to manage 1 per week, but again, I want to ramp up the production value of it, because I don't think it's very good when I'm bumbling over my words and not saying anything that coherent, and I'm also, when I'm talking too slowly, it's aggravating for me to listen to as well, because when I look back at my old videos, I'm trying to judge whether or not it's good enough to represent my quality that I'm making now. And I actually think my older videos, the so-called Cubic Element Reviews, which is a reference to my other channel, Cubic Element Productions, which is a more of a animation and illustration related channel. That was where I first posted these reviews before I came up with the name The Random Nonsense Merchant. And so I thought that I should keep my older stuff, because those are more edited and they're obviously scripted, but they're also more heavily produced. So I thought they were better in that regard, and therefore I considered them worth re-uploading for this channel. But I wanted to take them off the other channel, Cubic Element Productions, because they weren't really relevant to the theme of that channel, which was my first one I started. So while I want to make more regular content on this channel, I can't really make huge promises. I definitely can't do once a day. That's too much commitment until unless I had, if I had 100,000 subscribers, I'd do that today. I'd just start making videos all the time, but I'm obviously a long way from that, and even if I got to 10,000 subscribers, that would still only mean I should do it once a week, and that would be probably the point where I would start monetizing. So if you enjoy my videos for not having adverts, then you're gonna have to accept the fact that I'm not gonna be able to put all my efforts into this channel unless I'm able to supplement myself with it. So I can't promise that these videos would be that regular. I'll try and do one a week if I can. If not, then once every 2 weeks is a pretty good amount, or once a month, which would still be more regular than I've been in recent years. Well, recent months, I should say. I think this channel, it's worth continuing. I mean, obviously, I've managed to get 100 subscribers. That means Someone wants to watch this stuff. That's all I was trying to prove, really. Was the quality of this content good enough that anyone would want to watch it? And clearly, there's people who want to watch this stuff. So, from that, I think that it's worth continuing. I'm the Random Nonsense Merchant, and this was my 100 subscriber special.
Heads up, Commanders. We got company coming. Here they come. That ship won't last long against them. People on that ship owe you their lives, but there are still a few more to get up in the air. That's one fewer disaster to worry about. Thank you, Commanders. Nice work. Now we can focus on the infested again. Looks like Blightbringer's gone. It can have this damn planet for all I care.
From the shadows I come. From the shadows I come.
Upgrade complete. Time stop available.
Keep your guard up. You'll have to keep the infested at bay.
It is a good day, Shudzai.
Upgrade complete.
From the shadows I come. From the shadows I come.
Your allies are in battle. The enemy is coming for us. Templar, ready your blades. Your allies are in battle. Your allies are in battle. Your allies' base is besieged. Your allies are in battle.
Engines to full, ships in the sky. Those people get to live.
Your allies are in battle.
Battle is upon us. Battle is
of my people are left on the planet. We're almost there.
It is a good day to die. Your allies are in battle.
Incoming enemy attack. They're headed for one of the ships.
The enemy moves against our base. Show them the folly of their ways.
Time stop online.
Temporal anomaly established. Strike now, warriors!
Shadow Guard ready for deployment. Your allies are in battle.
Very well. It shall be as you say.
Your allies are in battle.
Don't forget about that enemy attack. It'll wipe out a ship much faster than the infested. That's the last of us. I can't thank you enough, Commanders. You've saved us all.